Hello, it's 2025. It's time to ditch the surface level New Year's resolutions. I want you to join me and transform your health during the next 180 days. We're going to do a 180 turn on our health so that we can live our best lives in 2025. Look, 180 days is basically a blink of an eye in the grand scheme of things. It's the teeniest, tiniest amount of time in the grand scheme of your life. But think about how much your life could actually improve if you took on the challenge of improving, upgrading, up-leveling your health for real this time. Your health is the foundation of your life. If you're not healthy, you cannot live your best life. If, on the other hand, you're super healthy, you get to live your biggest, boldest, best life. So here is the deal. Without health, you are sick. And in the absence of any kind of health and life force energy, you are dead. And I'm sorry to break it to you, but that is basically where we are all going. But let's make sure that is a very far way off and that we get to live our best life in the meantime. I for sure want to live a vibrant life and have plenty of energy to pursue all my dreams. And I'm sure you do too. And that is why I think you should join me on this 180-day quest. The healthier you are, the better your life will be. If we haven't met before, hello, my name is Sisse. I invented the concept of carpe diemology. And carpe diemology is a lifestyle design concept which is all about pursuing a life of joy, meaning, and fulfillment. If you are a dreamer and you could be world champion in the discipline of goal setting, but you struggle to make all of your dreams come true, you've come to the right place. Carpe diemology is all about achieving our goals and designing our very best life. Subscribe to the channel to get more next level goal setting and, more importantly, goal getting content. This quest for health is my top priority for the first half of the year. And my health goals are my top goals for the first half of the year. And I want you to consider making your health goals your top priority goals, because it will shift the quality of your life. I want you to join me on this quest, and I promise it's not going to be hard, and I also promise it's going to be so worth it. In this video series, I will break the process into even more steps. I will inspire you to take the steps that are right for you to improve your health. And I want you to make both micro and macro improvements to your health, because both matter. Let's do this together. As Jack Shepherd said in one of my all-time favorite TV shows, Lost, we either live together or we die alone. Seriously, let's do life together. It's a lot better that way. I want to be upfront with you. I am not a doctor. I am not a nutritionist. This is not medical advice. I am not in any way licensed to give advice on health. This is more of a user manual. It is what has worked for me. It is what I think might work for you. Consider me your friend on YouTube, talking about health to the extent that I think that my experiences might help you too. As a coach, my primary expertise is in goal setting, goal getting, and designing your best life. In this video series, I am using the life domain of health as an example of how you can set goals and achieve goals so that you do not waste another year of your life not living the very best version of your life. On to your very first steps on this health journey. So step number 1, take stock of where you are right now and where you want to be. And I want you to consider every single aspect of your physical and mental health. This is not about setting a goal of releasing 20 kilos or 44 pounds and then white knuckling your way to that goal. You absolutely can set a goal to release weight, and I have done so too. But this is more of a holistic approach where we look at all aspects of our health. So as you consider your starting point on this journey, I want to share mine. First of all, my sleep has been terrible over the last few months, and I can identify areas in which I could take steps to improve my sleep. For instance, I don't seriously prioritize winding down at night like I could do with, for instance, yoga nidra, or just turning the lights down so that I can up my production of melatonin. And pretty much the same goes for my eating. I did very well with my eating goals from August until the end of November. And then I started eating really badly from December onwards. And we could say that I treated myself to a lot of Christmas treats. But is it really treating yourself when you're putting a lot of strain on your body with sugar and starches and a lot of refined carbs? It's not treating myself because I can't process a lot of refined carbs. It does not work for me. So for me, it was not really treating myself. And in fact, I got a very huge wake-up call just after the Christmas break ended and the kids went back to school. I had like a 3-day, like the worst 3-day migraine. And that is always a wake-up call for me. That is my thing. That's my body's way of saying, now you better really pay attention because you have not been treating me well. And did I listen? Yes, I absolutely listened, because it is a confirmation of the things that I already know. I know that a high carb diet does not work for me, and it might work for you. It does work for some people, it just does not work for me. I am paying like a huge price for it whenever I go down the high carb track, and I'm just not willing to continue to fall back in that pattern of eating. So that will be one of my priorities for the next 180 days. When it comes to January 1st, I've basically moved that because for me, it doesn't work to have that as a starting point when the kids are still home from school if I really want to kick in new routines. And I wanted to start on the 6th of January with my new health goals because that was the first day that the kids were back in school. And that did not happen as a result of that terrible 3-day migraine. And I want that to be a bit of an encouragement to you if you have not started yet. You know, we're still in January. There are 11 and a half months left. And even if you're watching this a bit later, there is still so much of the year left. Do not let it deter you that the calendar does not say January 1st anymore. You can still design and create and live your best life in 2025. So by now you may have paused this video to actually write down and take stock of your health. I want you to look at all areas of your health. So sleep, nutrition, exercise, mental health, stress levels. I want you to look at everything, and I want you to look at where you are and where you want to go. And I specifically want you to identify the areas that have to change for you to achieve optimal health. While I really do want you to be fairly realistic about what you can achieve in 180 days, I also want you to be ambitious, because if you are not moving the needle in the direction of optimal health, then you're basically bypassing what this period of time is all about. It is about creating so much life force energy in your body and creating such good mental health that you can live your best life. I also want you to pay a lot of attention to any specific health issues or conditions that you may have, because they will be an important factor in this health turnaround. Because if there is anything that can be resolved or improved, that is essential to creating and living your best life. For me, my health challenge has always been migraines. And it has actually been proven in research that when you have migraines, and that is the case both during the attack and between attacks, that then you generally have 16% less ATP, the life force energy in the cells, the energy currency of the cells in your brain. 16% less life force energy available in your brain. And that is a solid, hard no thank you from me. I will not accept running my life, living my best life on 16% less life force energy than the average non-migraine person. It's a hard no thank you. I need my brain to work optimally, to make YouTube videos, to coach people, to help people live their best life, and to live my own best life. So basically the task at hand for me is to figure out how to become a migraine-free person. That sounds like a huge deal. However, I did make significant progress towards being migraine-free. I will say I was 100% migraine-free in the fall of 2024 when I went on the keto diet and was completely consistent with that. And I believe that it is because the keto diet has been scientifically proven to raise the levels of available ATP in the brain in rats and mice. And yes, this is not a Disney movie. I am not Mickey Mouse, I get that. But it still seemed to work. In fact, my oldest son said to me, "You're never sick anymore." And with sick, he meant that I didn't have migraines. And that was amazing. So people actually took notice of that. And it's not because I came from a place where I had migraines all the time. They had lessened substantially over the years because I had made other improvements to my diet and exercise routine. However, it was a full-on breakthrough, and I'm going to recommit to the keto diet this year. It's not the easiest thing for me to do because I am definitely a carb-loving girl, but I'm looking into keto cycling, and less strict versions of keto, so more low-carb, high-fat diets, to figure out what is the threshold I can keep. Where do I need to keep my carbs under? What level do I need to keep my carbs under for it to work for me? And here is a very important PSA for you. If you're someone who struggles with migraines, I want you to know that migraines are considered a metabolic condition according to research. That is not very heavily advertised because that means that it can be treated with nutrition and lifestyle changes. And if you're someone who is not affected by migraine, I'm so happy for you, but I still want you to apply that same line of thinking to any other issue or issues that you might have. I don't want you to settle. I don't want you to accept that a condition is either permanent or not improvable. You can apply this line of thinking and try to research what might improve or even resolve this condition. So by now you may have paused this video to take stock of your current physical and mental health. And if not, it's okay to do it later, but make sure that you do. It is so important to really truly understand our baseline and work from there. Moving on to step number 2, I would like you to consider the difference between process goals and outcome goals. Of course, when we set any type of goal, we all want the outcome. That is the shiny thing at the end of the process. And it's going to be a lot of hard work. There's going to be many steps involved to getting there. And we're dreaming of that outcome. We want it, and we want it right now. And sometimes that stops us from even trying to achieve it. As absurd as it sounds, that is really the truth. Instead of looking at that shiny outcome way down the road, we're so much better off getting our dopamine kicks from actually ticking off the boxes of our process. So it is better to focus on what am I actually doing today? What do I have to do today if I want to realize that goal down the line? What do I have to tick off today to achieve that goal down the line? And then feel accomplished because we are basically already achieving our goal today. Not the goal at the end of the line, but the teeny tiny steps we have to do today to get there down the line. That is so important. You have to get your dopamine kicks from living your life right now instead of living in a future that you can't even inhabit. We cannot, after all, inhabit the future. We can dream about it, we can plan for it, we can design a process that will take us there. But if we do not get any fulfillment from that right now, it will not work. Also, we cannot control the results of our actions. We think that we can, and yes, it is true that we can have a pretty good idea that the process we have designed is going to lead us to that shiny outcome. But we will never know for sure. And specifically when we're working with health, that has a life of its own. It's basically an organic process. It will go by organically. It will not conform to a spreadsheet or a calendar or a plan on your computer or in your notes app. It will not work. You have to design the best available process that you can imagine, and then you will have to see how far towards the end result it will bring you and adjust over time. And maybe, yes, maybe you will have to spend a bit more time on it. But think about what would happen if you had not even started. So many people don't even start. I don't want that to be you. And that said, I do want you to make a plan. I do want you to create a process that you think will get you on track towards the end result. Because without a plan, without a design process, it will all just be mayhem and haphazard, and we don't want that. Of course, we don't want that. So that is actually step number 3. Make a plan and begin to track your progress. At the risk of sounding repetitive here, please focus more on the process than on the shiny outcome down the line. Yes, the outcome is important because we're using the end goal that we have in mind to design the process. And yes, we are also going to track based on how far we have come towards the end goal. However, I want you to focus on the process. I want you to focus on ticking off the boxes of what do I have to do today? What do I have to do tomorrow? What do I have to do the next day? Those things are going to have to be your focus, because otherwise you're living in a future that does not exist yet, and we just can't do that. I want you to focus on tracking your goals. I want you to focus on tracking your process part of your goals on a daily basis, because that is what has to carry you towards the end goal. That is what has to keep you motivated. That is what has to keep you content with yourself. You cannot wait to feel fulfilled in your life or to be happy with your own effort until the day you have released the 20 kilos or the 44 pounds, or you have run that marathon. It is going to be such a hard life if you never feel fulfilled until you have reached the end result. And research shows that once you've reached an end result, the payoff is not nearly as high as we think it will be. Yes, it's nice, it's great, it's perfect for a moment, but then our brain is already on to other things. When it comes to tracking your process and that you're on the right trajectory, I want you to find a way to hold yourself accountable. Maybe you are one of the people who can actually be accountable to just yourself, and that is amazing. Go on doing that. Otherwise, you may need to involve other people. You could find an accountability buddy, or you could work with a coach to make sure that you are on the right track. I think that it says a lot about our culture that especially women are very bad at keeping their promises to themselves and really good at keeping their promises to other people. Especially women are so good at being overachievers when it comes to our work and being accountable to our bosses. And we're so bad at being accountable to ourselves and actually going for our own goals. So what you need to do if you have a hard time being accountable and actually really believing that you are worth having big goals and going for them, what you need to do is to create a sort of external accountability that you know will work for you. If you're interested in my approach to coaching, the carpe diemology approach to coaching, you can book a free breakthrough call with me to see if working with me could be helpful for you. I don't want you to walk away from this video simply feeling inspired. I want you to take action. So you could rewind the video and go through the 3 steps again and consider all of them, because they are some of the first keys to your success in achieving your health goals in 2025. I want you to achieve your goals, and I want you to live your best carpe diem life of joy, meaning, and fulfillment. Until next time, carpe diem.